What's good, everybody? We got that dub over Penn State as we thought we would. Little frustrating, a little shaky, a little nerve wracking. Well, not for me, but for a lot of fans in the beginning. But we got it done. That's all that matters. Buckeyes advanced to 8-0, and we're going to talk about the game. And so let's just bring Nevada Buck in immediately, sir. Or did we lose him already? His phone connection dropped off already. So we'll bring him back in a minute. But also, let me back up because I just wanted to dive into my reaction to the game. Please hit that like button. Like always on any normal video, hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not already. And Nevada Buck is back, sir. You there?
I am here. I'm so excited about the Penn State victory that I accidentally disconnected the phone. So
Okay, so you
that's
disconnected. I thought you lost connection. Okay.
no. It was all me. It was all my old fingers, and I was just so fired up, man. This is a big one. This is a good.
Yeah.
This game had so many good elements to it, that I was just excited to talk about. I was excited to post game with you. So yeah, a great win. Anytime you beat Penn State by 24 points. I don't care what the thing. I don't care about Drew Aller. I don't care about. And I'm just supremely happy with that.
Yeah.
And I think we found out some things about Ohio State too. I think you find out about your team a little bit when there's a little bit of adversity, and I think we faced a little bit of that, stared it down, and came out with a 4-score victory and covered the spread. So very very happy and excited about it.
Yeah, definitely. And I was a little frustrated. I'll tell you one thing. This selfishly, because we like to get our predictions right. I had 38-9, y'all. 38-9. That Donaldson fumble really irritated my soul. We're going to get to that. But not only that, greater than that, there was two things I predicted, Nevada. An interception from Gronkemeyer and a strip sack for a fumble recovery. And I almost had it. I almost had both. I got the pick, but we didn't recover the fumble and the strip sack. I was like, So I was very close in my predictions. But yes, like you said, 38-14, especially after all these slugfests for the past few years with them, I will gladly take a Nevada for sure.
Well, yeah, and you think about I had 38-6, and so sans the CJ brain cramp there probably would have been pretty close, but
Yeah.
look, let's talk about the good. Let's do an inventory of the good first, from my perspective. Okay, um, Julian saying 20 of 23 for 326 or whatever it was,
Great.
4 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, I'm running out of superlatives to come for this guy right now. And for anybody else, if anybody else went 20 of 23, 326-yard, 4 touchdown, it'd be the lead story on Sports Center. It'd be like the Big Ten player of the year. I mean, it'd be unbelievable. But for Julian, he's just so good. We just have come to expect it.
Right.
It's just another Saturday, and that's all it is. And it's wild that he can be this good. It's wild that he's at 80.7% completions for the year, almost 81%. And he
Amazing.
ain't throwing just dinks and dunks, man. He's putting the ball down the field. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that was really good. It was really good to see Bo Jackson break the 100-yard mark, had the nice run. Um, I loved the split zone stuff that we were running. The little wrinkle on the running game concepts right there. I thought we were
Yeah.
getting a lot more push up front. We're getting those wham blocks with the tight ends. And that,
Hmm.
if you're going to run the tight ends, run split zone. And I really liked, I really, really, really was pleased with that. Defensively, I'm glad that we faced a little bit of adversity. I think this team needed to have a little bit of adversity. Things have been a little bit too easy for this team. And, the CJ Donaldson run, that was frankly one of the only play calls, that and the 3rd and 4 run in the second half. Those are the only 2 play calls that I wasn't happy with, because in that situation, 17-7, you've got 2 timeouts, you've got Julian Sand who's completed everything, throwing it. And so you're clearly running the 2-minute drill. What are you doing running CJ into the middle of the line anyway? Forget the terrible refereeing
Yeah,
about
that should have
this.
been blown
Not,
dead.
that should
Yeah.
have been blown dead. There's no way that shouldn't have been blown dead. But forget all that. I just don't understand what you're doing running CJ. What's CJ Donaldson going to do running in the middle line? Get 6 yards? get 5 yards? What's he going to do? So aren't you trying to score in that situation? It's 17. That was only our fourth possession. Our first three possessions, touchdown, field goals, touchdown. And then that was our fourth possession. Like, man, you got possessions are at a premium. You got to put the ball in Saints' hands. You got to try to score. So that was the only thing that I wasn't completely thrilled with. But again, faced some adversity, stared it down, completely shut them. Patricia shows he can make some adjustments, completely took away what they could do in the second half, and got the nice victory. The only prop I had Max Clare over 26 yards receiving. Um, had that one touchdown pass down the middle of the scene. They're trying to get to him, but they got held. That
Yeah.
might have been the one that put me over the line for that. But other than that, I think
Hmm.
you and I both had this game kind of nailed, and
Yeah.
the Buckeyes took care of business. And we got not that it matters because it doesn't matter, but how did Caleb not get ejected for that targeting thing? I mean,
um,
it had all the elements. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen. Let's put it this way: I've seen a lot less than that called targeting, and I thought the guy sold it, and I didn't think it was particularly violent up top. But
no.
I've seen a lot less called, but somehow we got the positive side of that, so I'm happy.
Yeah, I was blown away by that. I just knew he was done for the first half. Of who we got next week? Purdue or somebody? Who do we got? I don't even know. But yeah, maybe they made up for all the non-holding and pass interference calls against our receivers all season that Klatt reminded people of, which is an amazing stat. But yeah, just that aside, yeah, that should have been probably should have been a targeting. I thought it was made when they slowed it down. There was the referee was saying the shoulder was may have been in the chest area, but to me, I wouldn't have been mad if he would have got it because it was pretty. I would have been like, yeah, that's targeting, but I'll take it because we don't get penalties, man. We just don't. We don't, and it's frustrating. But yes, I know with post games we can kind of be all over the place because we're just reacting. But I'll go back to the Donaldson play. See, I didn't mind. I've seen teams run the ball on the first play for 2-minute drills, especially when they have timeouts. To me, I didn't mind the run on first down to kind of get the drive going, especially if we had to look. I got to go back and watch to see what Penn State was doing on defense. My question is, why Donaldson? I know he's a good pass pro, good blocker. Maybe it was an RPO situation. All honesty, I have my head on my phone. I don't remember the pre-snap looks and what they were in, so I need to go back and watch. But my bigger question is, why not have a like a Bo Jackson in or someone like that? But even that aside, should have been blown dead. And Donaldson, I know he got absolutely chewed out for not having ball security because whatever the scenario is about it, I'm sure you agree. Ball security, ball security, ball security. Period. Go ahead. I know you want to react.
Well, it was a called play. It wasn't an RPO. It was a called play, and
Mhm.
you're spot on. If you're going to run that play, run it with Isaiah West, run it with
Right.
Bo Jackson, run it with people, run it with somebody who, if they get something, can get 15, 20. I mean, that's
Right.
the thing. You're bringing in your slowest goal line back
Yeah.
to run into the middle in the two. But that's where I had the problem with it. Yeah, bad call. Well, in terms of not blowing it dead, I don't understand what they're doing with that stuff anymore, with not blowing stuff dead. But yeah, wasn't called. But yeah, I did like the personnel grouping in terms of doing it. But I like the fact that they went back to Donaldson in the second half and he got that
Yeah.
touchdown around the goal line.
That was
Just
good.
because I felt good for the kid, because he felt bad. He got lit up. That it was, I mean, nothing about that had to be pleasant for him in the locker room, yet they went back to him and he scored. So, like, I mean, that really did kind of have the storybook ending from that
Yeah.
standpoint. And just, yeah, I like to see good things happen to a guy like that, because he had to feel really bad about it, but that was a nice storyline for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad they did that because, listen, Donaldson is not an All American. He's not some first round draft pick, but he's been solid for this team leading up to this game. He's been solid to good. And so that play definitely need to be redeemed for sure. And real quick, Nevada, looks like we got a new leader with the odds with the Heisman.
It's got to be saying, right?
Well, let's see. I'm gonna share my screen.
Yeah, if it's not, there's something criminally wrong.
Boom. As Julian saying, plus
Yeah.
165. So, I mean, yeah, because look, I mean, the numbers, like you said, man, 316, 20 of 23, 13.7 average per play, 4 TDs, no picks. And he looked, I mean, he was just surgical and precise out there per usual. It's just like any doubters that are left are just slowly falling off. It's just like, yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm a hater. Like he's cold. He's cold with it. And so, yeah, he deserves to be the winner, the leader right now, Nevada.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's so good, and like I said, the numbers are just so absurd. We're just taking them for granted right now. But 80.7%. I mean, he just shredded the number 5 passing defense in the country right there,
Yeah.
and just completely abused those guys. And um, I felt like every time he went back to pass, something good happened. Because you know what? It just about did. He threw more touchdown passes than he had incompletions.
Right.
Right? So like he's crazy effective, and I love seeing JJ. I think the team's better when JJ gets involved, and I just think the body language gets better, the mojo gets better, and he's so precise with the ball. I mean, he is so surgical. He's so on time. And he showed a little scrambling ability today on that one third
Yes.
down play where he spun away. There wasn't anything there, and he turned it. That's all he's got to do. That's all he's got to do. Keep it occasionally on one of those RPOs, and scramble opportunistically if they give it to you. But I mean, I try to stay away from hyperbole, but I'm really stretching my mind. I've been following college football for a long time. I'm trying to think about a quarterback, a freshman. He's a freshman. He's a freshman eligible quarterback. I've never seen a better quarterback anywhere, ever in college. But I mean, can you think of one? Is there anybody that's even close?
Well, I'll say this. I'll specifically say I cannot think of a more accurate quarterback. Just this that right there. I don't think that's debatable. And I can't. I just can't. And there were some really good ones, man. And just the trajectory he's on, Nevada, with the remaining schedule, at least in the regular season, he's going to break the regular season completion percentage record, right?
Well, yeah, and the fact that we get him and JJ back for another year next year is kind of crazy to think about. I mean, I don't know what they can do for an encore, but yeah, this is a guy that's getting better every single week. You can see him just growing with confidence. And I thought the offense really took a big step today. I thought we
Yeah.
found some things in the running game. I loved our passing game stuff. Defensively, I think we got. I mean, not exposed is not the right word, but we got availed to some things that we need to address. Clearly a
Yeah.
power football team can do some things. It was a little infuriating that they kept bringing out those 2 linemen and running that same sweep play and that we couldn't adjust
Right.
and stop it. I don't think we ever stopped it really. And frankly, if Grunkemeyer wasn't Grunkemeyer, there were some guys open that he just missed. He just grunked them. And so, I mean, I'm not saying the game could have been was going to be close, but it could have been closer had they had, if Drew Aller was the quarterback today, that might have been a little closer game because Grunkemeyer looked every bit like a guy who's only started one game before, and I thought he played admirably well, considering that was his second start ever, and having to do it in the horseshoe under those circumstances. So, I think we've got some things on defense, but that's not bad. Having
Right.
things to address this time of the year is not a bad thing, man. You got to get those guys' attention. They're all eating the cheese and ingesting that rat poison and believing that they're the number one team in the country. And the fact that we have some things to work on, for me, not a bad thing at all.
Yeah, and I said that earlier. I like that we have some adversity against a power run team so we can get that cleaned up before scum. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a good thing. And I like how we clamped down in the second half. This defense clamped down. I think what clapped before that last drive they had 1 yard, after that sack. So yeah. I mean, to me, it's good. That's that second TD with Donaldson giving up the ball. I mean, that was bad. I mean, I know the defense was really upset about that. I don't really count that against them fully. But It is what it is. It's good to have. And like you said, we still blew them out. I guess is this still considered a bloodbath? I, I'll say this, Nevada. Looking at these stats, they're not as bad as I thought. We held Allen under 100 yards, which it didn't feel like that initially. You know what I'm saying? You know how you feel like you gave up more yards? And so we held them under 100 yards rushing. We actually ran for, I think, 140. Let me go back. With that, Bo Jackson had over 100 yards. He had 105, and we had 480 total yards, and they had 200 total yards. Now, the sacks helped contribute to decline their numbers, but still, I mean, that's pretty darn impressive for any defense, especially with how we started, Nevada.
Yeah, I was just looking at the stats. So we held them to 1.8 yards per rush.
Yep. It didn't feel like that, but
And I know
overall,
the sacks contributed to that because they had minus 39. But even so, Katron Allen was only 3.6 yards per carry, 21 carries for 76 yards.
right.
So, I mean, no, it like I said, we got something. Hey, HT, I got to give call out helping technician. He's calling about the ascension of Edric Houston, the reascension of Edric Houston.
Yes.
He came back. He's coming back, man. He's starting to play. We're getting some production out there in the interior line, man. And I was really, really excited about that. But yeah, those stats. I mean, obviously, the stats are one-sided, but I always look at it. And, I know covering spread. Forget from a betting standpoint. I look at it just that's relevant to expectations. The expectations were sharp people that we win this game by 18 points, 18 and a half, 19 points, whatever it is, and we won by 24. So to me, you exceeded expectations despite having a terrible thing happen in terms of that fumble and not being the benefactor of it. We didn't have any. Did we have any short fields today? I don't think Penn State ever
No.
turned it over. On their end. So
Nope.
we were going the long way the whole time. We gave them the short field, gave them the score, and still won by 24. That's a great win any way you look at it. And if you're an Ohio State fan, you should be really, really excited about this one. And I'm not going to be able to stop smiling all day. I'm really, really happy.
Yes, I am as well. And it was dope to see Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate both get off. Their numbers were almost identical. 123 and 124 passing, receiving. Jeremiah Smith had the 2 touchdowns. Obviously, the one-handed grab off the deflection will be on Sports Center. Tate just continues to show he's a dog. Like again, me and Nevada have said that we have said this. Excuse me. We've admitted that we didn't see the first round hype with Tate, although we loved him and saw that he had potential. This year, it's just like, all right, I get it. Like it's he has arrived. So this duo is just insane. Today was just a like, yo, if you didn't know already, you better know now. They're a problem. Now listen, Ennis, he actually had some good plays early on. He made some good plays. If he can do that along with Claire, underneath, as a outlet, I mean that's just a dynamic passing game. And then our running game doesn't need to be 250 yards, 300 yards per game. Just be effective, punch it in when you need to, and step up when we need to. Nevada.
Yeah, I was just looking at 5.1 yards per carry for us today. Better. It was just better. We
Yeah.
took a step. I always say, in life, you're never staying the same. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. Those are the only two things you can do in life. And I thought we got better. I thought we got better today. And I think the more that Ryan gets comfortable with the fact that we are a pass first team and that we can run the controlled passing offense and that Julian Saint can operate it at a high level and can do it, the better this team's going to be. The sky is the absolute limit, and that is the path to beating Michigan this year in November. It's not to come out there and line up with three tight ends and try to, prove a point about toughness or whatever. It's spread them out, run that split zone if you want to, but just let Julian cook. Let him read that RPO. Because I tell you what, that's a good Penn State defense, and that's a well
Yeah.
coached Penn State defense. And that's a Penn State defense with a coach, Jim Knowles. Nobody's going to know the Ohio State offense better than that guy did today. And we absolutely shredded them. They had no answer for us at any point on the field. And we need to lean into that, man. You've got two Marmadukes in Carnell Tate and JJ Smith. They can't cover both of them. go, just lead. I just love the little things like when Julian dropped that one in the bucket on JJ, that long pass.
Yeah.
See how quiet his hands were? He didn't even stick his hands out to the last second. He almost caught
Yes.
it right at hip level. That was just such a clever play, really underrated play. I love the play earlier where we put four out to the left, and then the immediate play is to slant to JJ on the right. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I mean, you don't need to run the ball to have a control. That's a quick 10 yards, 8 yards,
Yes.
13 yards, whatever it is. Do that all day long. Julian saying is your pet. Julian saying should win the Heisman. I'm going to give away one of my uncomfortable truths right now. If he doesn't win the Heisman, there's something very, very wrong. He should win the Heisman, and I don't think it should be particularly close. Best player on the best team. The stat lines he's putting up right now are absolutely obscene. He should win the Heisman, and it shouldn't. It should be going away. And if he doesn't, then it's criminal because I mean, he's that guy, and we got him for multiple more years, which is crazy to think about.
And I think that'll be solidified in Ann Arbor at the Big Blouse. Julian saying slicing them up, which he will. But we got some super chats. We're gonna get to them. But before we do, one last thing I'll say. I see the chat talking about how Nose knew us, but we still beat them. I see you, Buckeye fan, 1959. Yes, we were masterful, Nevada. I just kind of want to pile on top of your point. Is that we had an answer when Nose did try to double over the top with JJ Smith. We had Clear underneath. We had Ennis underneath. Like we were ready. We had an answer for everything. And when he was left 1-on-1, boom, easy. So we didn't overcomplicate it. We just all right. We know you too. Go ahead and do what you do. We're ready for all of that. And so, to your point, Nevada, with with the tradition of controlling the game with the run, we can still control the game with our NFL wide receivers and our NFL quarterback. And so, there's a bunch of different ways. What did they say to skin a cat? There you go. We can get the super chats unless you got something to say to that.
No, I totally agree, and lots of ways to skin the cat, and I like the way we skinned it today.
Yes, skinned it well. All right. Iowa Buck, what's up, brother? Thanks for the 4.99. Few things. Saying is the best passer we've had already. The Big Ten officials are terrible and always mute Gladden Johnson. 8-0, go Bucks. Agreed. The refs are just bad. I mean, on that one drive, Nevada, Penn State had in the first half, I mean, I could count like at least two or three strong holdings that were just blatantly missed. And it's just like, what are we doing here? How do you not see that hold? I mean, guys are getting tackled. And so it was frustrating, but they've been trash overall this season. I think you pointed that out, Nevada, already.
Yeah, they were bad. This crew was. I mean, I don't know if they were the worst. Yeah, I always have my particular bugaboos. The forward progress bugaboo. Because here's my thing on forward progress. If you're not gonna blow it dead on forward progress, right?
Yeah.
And then when a guy stopped and he's pushed back, okay, like the Penn State guy was a couple times, then why isn't he marked back where you tackled him after he's pushed back? Because if you're not blowing it, then he's still a live runner, right?
Right.
So I don't understand this. We're going to give him the benefit of this furthest point. We're not going to blow it dead because if he breaks off of that, it's still live. But if he gets tackled back there, we're going to get in the front. I don't understand it. When the guy starts going backwards with guys on him, blow the freaking whistle.
Right.
This crew was really late with that today, and I thought that was really bad. But then they bailed us out on the Caleb Downs thing. So
Yeah. Although I don't, that still got a penalty. So the only thing I felt they bailed us out on was him not having to sit against Purdue. But still, I mean, I would call it a makeup call as well, maybe. But anyway, so yeah, Mike Green, thanks for the 4.99. Did y'all hear Gus throw a shot at Urban saying he looks frail, ringing the bell? I actually missed that. Like, Gus, you look like a dead Dracula for real. I'm tired of that hater. First of all, yeah, Gus's suit game was not good today. It was just like some thrift store, it was trash. But I did not hear that. Nevada, did you hear him take a shot at Urban?
no, I heard him doing it. He's like, "Yeah, you need to get Shelley to help you with the belt," and it was really kind of cringy. I didn't like it. Yeah, the suit was. I mean, I understand trying to be cool, but he ended up like looking like some old professor at like Brown University or something like that, teaching English lit or something. But it was just it wasn't cool. There was nothing cool about it. And yeah, it didn't. I'm telling you, the Victory Bell thing is not. It's not getting the crowd pop that it should. I don't think people really understand what's going on
Yeah.
when we do it. I think it's because they're doing it from inside the thing, so they don't have a visual representation like when like the Golden
Right.
Knights do it with the horn, or Seattle does it with the thing, or Minnesota does it with the gong. The fans can see him. Since the Victory Bell, you're doing it from inside that tower and stuff like that. I don't think people can. Even though they put it on the video, I don't think it doesn't work. It's just not working. But I like the fact that they had him do it. I like the fact that he was doing it. But yeah, Gus is hard, and Mike Green is in the Hall of Fame for posts. I love his posts all the time, and he's
Yeah.
spot on. Gus is hard to listen to and hard to
Yeah.
watch.
And to your point, here's another one. Mike Green, thanks for the 199. I told y'all when Jim Blitz is one-on-one. Yeah, you did. And we ate him up. And I love it because listen, we don't hate Jim Nose, but it was good to see him get torched today and his scheme not work. And it was great. It was just great. So anything to say about that, Nevada? You there, Nevada? I didn't lose you. Or did you get too excited and knock yourself out again? Well, he's gone. He should be back. But real quick, I see y'all in the chat. I just see Miami lost again to SMU. There he is. There he is, Nevada.
My mute button was like malfunctioning on my thing right now, so I was muted. I was there the whole time. I'm like, I'm trying to be unmuted, but no, yeah. I mean, look, he had like it was either die slowly or die quickly. He had to blitz,
Yeah.
and they were effective. They had some. They actually got to us a couple times. I don't think they sacked us, but they caused a little bit of problem sometimes. But I mean, he didn't really have a lot of good options. But yeah, when they blitz, they go one. I mean, when you go one-on-one against JJ and Carnell, one of those guys is going to win and win big, and we
Right.
and we did it all day long.
Now, this is off the topic, but I don't know if you heard, but Miami just went down to SMU, Nevada, 26-20 in OT.
Yeah, I mean, Miami's not good. Carson Beck's not good. I never understood all the Carson Beck love and the people Carson Beck for Heisman and Miami. And Miami's not a good football team. I
And
mean,
they were
we're
supposed to be
just.
number one over us, Nevada, remember?
Oh, I know. Isn't Indiana struggling today too? I heard from somebody that Indiana's
Let me
struggling
check
today.
their score.
Now maybe, yeah, maybe they were. Signetti will run it up whoever they're playing.
Right. Were they a noon game? I thought they were 3:30. Oh,
I don't.
so yeah, it's 3:30, but they're down 3-0 at Maryland in the first. So
Okay, yeah,
not exactly starting off cooking, but early.
yeah, yeah, early.
Yeah, but yeah, listen, the point is as we close, the point is it's not easy to win college football games, y'all. I know haters want to just, oh, you haven't been tested. You haven't played anybody. Just because we keep dominating teams and making it look easier than what it should be, doesn't mean that it should be dismissed. And so that's the point. And so we're gonna keep it rolling. We're at Purdue next week. Any final thoughts as we close out, Nevada?
Now, perfect game, win by 24. Everybody's healthy, learn some things, face some adversity. Nothing but goodness for today, and go Bucks, and let's be number one in the first college football playoff predictor. I think coming out on Tuesday, so we'll
Yep.
should be a firm number one.
And one last reminder, we are going at 7:10 p.m. starting Monday. We are changing the schedule from 8:10 p.m. to 7:10 p.m. Kind of along the lines with the turn your clocks back as well. The timing of that was impeccable. So we will see y'all we'll see y'all tomorrow, but Monday, remember, 7:10 p.m. All right, go Bucks, and let's watch some good college football the rest of the day. Love y'all, Buckeye Scoop family. Peace.